Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Since 2019, when the United States imposed sanctions on Huawei, it has been continuously increasing restrictions on China's chips, and there has never been any sign of relaxation. In particular, since 2022, the United States has focused on AI chips and has expanded the scope of restrictions many times. In April this year, the United States also introduced new control measures on China's AI chip exports, restricting NVIDIA's sales of special AI chips H20 to China. Who would have thought that just a few months later, the United States would change its strategy and relax chip restrictions? Recently, NVIDIA CEO Huang Ren said during his visit to China, and also officially announced through the official website, that it would resume sales of H20 chips to China. Because after submitting the H20 export application to China, the US government has promised to grant a license. Not only NVIDIA, AMD also announced that the U.S. Department of Commerce informed that the MI308 chip license application has entered the review process. Previously, the Trump administration has always claimed that the policy on chip sales to China is not within the scope of discussion. This means that the United States will not change the previous restrictions. With the announcement of NVIDIA and AMD, it can be seen that the US strategy has suddenly changed. Allowing NVIDIA and AMD to resume selling some AI chips to China is a very big reversal for the Trump administration. Because they were trying to expand restrictions on China in terms of AI chips before. Many people believe that this is related to the London talks between the two sides in June. China promised to approve qualified rare earth export applications in accordance with the law, and the United States promised to cancel a series of restrictive measures taken against China, including chip restrictions. Now it seems that there must be this reason, but it is probably not entirely, because the United States said at the time that AI chips were not included. Now, the United States suddenly opened up some AI chip exports to China. In addition to the reasons for the talks between the two sides, there should be the following two reasons. First, NVIDIA actively strived for it, and Huang Ren worked hard to communicate. Although NVIDIA has a dominant advantage in the global AI market, and its market value has recently soared to $4 trillion, it still has not forgotten the importance of the mainland market to it. After the United States restricted H20 sales to China in April this year, NVIDIA was almost excluded from the mainland market, directly causing it to lose $4.5 billion in the first fiscal quarter, and another $8 billion in the second fiscal quarter, with its mainland market share also falling to 50%. Huang Ren knows very well that the mainland AI chip market may reach $50 billion in the next 2 to 3 years. If it cannot participate, it will be a huge loss. If it can be sold to China, it will bring income, tax revenue and a large number of jobs to the United States. Therefore, Huang Ren not only publicly criticized the US export control many times, but also actively communicated and mediated with the US government. Some time ago, when Trump visited the Middle East, Huang Ren actively accompanied him and showed enough sincerity, which won Trump's praise. It is said that Huang Ren met with Trump before his visit to China this time, and he should have won Trump's opinion on AI permission. Secondly, the US top brass has changed its view on the AI restriction strategy. Needless to say, the importance of AI is that the US goal is to achieve an absolute leading position. For this reason, the United States strictly restricts the export of high-end AI chips to hinder China's AI development. Previously, the US restriction strategy was to slow down the development of China's AI industry by restricting the export of AI chips to China. Now it is found that not only has the goal not been achieved, but China's AI chips are getting stronger and stronger, especially Huawei's Ascend AI chip. The US Treasury Secretary said that the H20 chip was released because the mainland has developed chips with the same performance. From this, we can see that don't think that the United States will have any good intentions to release H20 and other AI chips. And don't think that the United States will consider the interests of American companies such as Nvidia and AMD. The purpose of the United States doing this is nothing more than dumping and suppressing domestic AI chips. The recent remarks of the White House AI consultant can further illustrate that allowing Nvidia to sell H20 chips to China will help the United States AI occupy a more advantageous position in the global competition. And at the same time it can curb the momentum of mainland technology giants to expand their global share. Because the United States knows that mainland AI is developing rapidly, Huawei AI not only occupies the mainland market, but also begins to enter other countries. The White House AI consultant said that in the near future, the global AI market share will either belong to American companies such as Nvidia or to mainland companies. 5 years later, if Nvidia occupies 80% of the global market, they will win the AI competition, otherwise they will lose. It is based on this situation that the United States suddenly changed its AI restriction strategy and released some AI chips from Nvidia and AMD to China. But it should be clear that the United States only released a small part, and higher-end AI was not released. Therefore, China should be more aware that the situation is actually more serious and further accelerate the development of domestic AI chips.